Hello everybody, so today it's fodder beet drilling. It's very windy, hopefully you can hear me alright. So first thing we've got to do, we've got to get the drill prepared. So this is a basic drill frame. We need to put the seed boxes on, in the unit, in the rows. We've got a little bit of preparing to do in the seed boxes first. So same as last year, the old 35's come out to do the drilling. Now this tractor has had its spring service this morning already. You can't see that, it's too dark. So I didn't film any of that. The reason being, coming up on Vintage Thursday in the next, not this week, hopefully the following week, there's going to be a special episode devoted to the spring service on another 35, different to this one, slightly different engine, very different engine. So that's going to be coming up, so keep your eyes peeled for that. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to the channel, and let's get the drill on and get prepared. Right, so here's our seeder unit. Obviously seed in the hopper, drive to the drive belt up to the frame. So in here, so we need to put our belt. Like so. Okay, so seed drops through that opening there into this area. A seed into every hole, and then drops out underneath. Last year's fodder beet field, and this field will be drilled in the next video. Okay, so the next video coming up, we'll see this field being drilled. So when we start out drilling, what we do, because we always go in a straight line, we cannot follow hedge lines with our harvester. It's always got to be straight. So Dad's gone on ahead, he's got a pole, he's going to put it down the far end, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to direct him left to right, so we're getting where I want him, and then I'm going to drive dead straight for that pole, and then he's going to go on again, and then we will mark the field out like that, and then we will follow our headland outwards. Okay, so here's our rows, and this is our marker to follow the wheel for the next time. Right, so we're getting along nicely now. We've done the headland. We've done quite a bit of up and down work. Dad's been out, he's been driving for a little bit, so we've got the drone out, so you can have a look at that. We've got a little bit of drone footage. Now to check to put some seed in. So if you watched the video in February of when we did like the second harvesting video, I had a few comments saying why was there so many beet left on the ground after the harvester had been through. Well, if you watch this little bit of video you will see why. So as you can see there, a lot of the beet are growing out of the ground. So you get the different varieties will grow with a different amount of root below ground level. So what we've done for this year, because of that problem we had earlier this year with the harvesting, we've changed our variety. So last year we were planting Robos or Robos, I'm not sure how you say it. That was the variety that stood out the ground quite a bit. So this year we've changed. We've got a variety now that sits lower into the ground. And I think and that's called Brick, so that's what we're planting today. The reason the fodder beet varieties vary for the amount they grow out the ground is to suit the different types of harvester. So there's like a leaf lifter, like the old Armour Salmon type that have like big V belts and pull the leaves out. So you need as much root out of the soil as you can to make them work properly. And then there's what we've got is like more the sugar beet harvester, which lifts from underneath. So the fact that they're sat lower in the ground suits our harvester better, hopefully, by not knocking them over before they come to the wheels to lift them out. So that's our plan for this year. We will obviously wait and see if it works. So we'll just do a quick check on the seed hoppers. Time to put a little bit more in. They're not going down level because they were not field level. So we used a bit of last year's seed on the headland, and we're on to all new seed now for the centres, for the centre of the field. Okay, so this is our packet of seed. There's a variety Brick again. This is pelleted seed. I went through that in quite depth last year. So all our seed are covered in like a clay substance, and they are all guaranteed to be within that size range, which is what we need to fit into the little holes in the belts that we saw earlier on. Beet seed in its natural state will not flow through a drill. It's all knobbly and different size seed. So by pelleting it, every seed is within that range, and that is how we get our accuracy with the drilling. This is what it's treated with. I've no idea what that does. And we're planting this. So these are 1 acre packs. And we're planting these at a rate of 40,000 seeds to the acre. It must say on there somewhere, I'm not sure. Anyway, that's the rate we're going at. So let's top our hoppers up. So you can see in this end row hopper, we've got like a float. That's a level indicator. And on every row unit, there's an electrical connection coming out. And then what that's for, in that we've got a box. You get a load of. So we've got a box that would fit to the tractor with a lot of light bulbs on it. So all the cables come back and connect to every unit, and 2 cables to the hopper with the level sensor in. And running on the metering belt, there's a wheel that turns. So while the belts are turning, there's an intermittent electrical connection while that wheel is revolving. And so that makes your lights flash on and off within the box, you know, that was mounted to the tractor. And lets you know if it's flashing on and off, it lets you know the belts are turning and everything's going fine. And obviously if the light doesn't flash, it makes you think there's something wrong in the unit, and you can stop and have a look. And obviously the level sensor, it lights up. I'm not sure which way it works now, I can't remember. It either lights up when it's low or lights up when it's full. And then if it goes out, obviously you know you're running low. We used that for the first year we used this drill. It wasn't particularly reliable. You were constantly worrying, were the lights flashing, you know, was the belts turning, and it would give you something else you had to keep looking at. But for this job you need to be concentrating 100% on your line where you're running. So we did away with that box. We've never put it on since that first year because the connections weren't that reliable, because it relies on an earth running back through the machine, which on a machine of this age it's not a, you know, you can't rely on it. And in all the years we've been running this machine, which is, I think this is the 19th year, it's 19 years ago since we started using this machine. We have had a few gaps, we've not platted every year. We've never had misses to an extent that makes us want to get that box running. We get 1 or 2, you know, a few seeds missed, but it's not a problem. We've never had a run with no seeds in it. So we don't use that box anymore. It's just something else to go wrong, something else to look at and distract you from what you should be doing, which is concentrating where you're going. Right, so this is the row we've just drilled. You can see the press wheel has flattened it down a little bit, so we'll just dig in. We'll check for our seed spacing and seed depth. As you can see, there's plenty of moisture down there. There's a seed. I've dug him out. I'm not sure what depth he was running at. So we're aiming for a seed every 5 inches. I can't find any now. I've gone offline, that's why. There we are, there's another one. Right, so our spacing's okay, our depth looks good, and our moisture content in the soil is very good. So if you watched last year's beet drilling video, you might remember we were concerned with the level of leather jackets in the field. As it happens, we got away with it. If you followed last year, you will know, we got away with that, and it wasn't a problem. So far this year, we've not found a single leather jacket, either in this field or in the grass fields that we've reseeded, which are videos you've seen. So hopefully, and there's not a great deal of birds here. So if there was leather jackets here, the birds would know, and they would be here digging about, hunting for them. But there's not many here today, which is all taken as a good sign. So hopefully, during the wet winter, they all drowned, and we won't get a problem this year. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for that one. Right, so there we are, folks. We are now at the other side of the field, all finished up, and once again, tractor and drill performed faultlessly. So I've got a little question I want to put to the viewers. Do you want to see, later on in the summer, do you want to see us hoeing this crop? It will be a Vintage Thursday episode. We have got in the collection a Ferguson steerage hoe. So that's a machine. It goes on the back of the tractor, and it's got a separate seat on the hoe where I sit on. Dad drives the tractor, I sit on the hoe and I steer the hoe down the rows, and we weed. We've been talking, we think that's going to be a good idea, because we used to do it when we were organic. We used to grow fodder beet, and obviously that was our only form of weed control then, and we haven't done it since we've been spraying. We haven't done it. But it's going to be something interesting to do. So if you want to see that, put a comment down below, give us a thumbs up, let us know you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because there's going to be lots of exciting stuff coming over the summer. And other than that, I will just say thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.